to share my story real quickly with you all. At 2, I was adopted from Russia. At 4, diagnosed with childhood apraxia of speech. At 5, my mom was called into my school to meet with a literacy specialist. Upon meeting with this expert, she was advised that I most likely will never learn how to read. Hearing this, my mom cried for weeks, until she realized that however well-meaning these experts were, they didn't know me, and they were not going to create my destiny. So, she began to teach me how to read, assigned me daily mommy homework, and record 2 TED Talks, one about grit and the other about growth mindset. Before I went to school each day, she would remind me of how smart I was, and she would celebrate every success, no matter how small. Simply put, she was determined to make me the grittiest kid around. Of course, I had no knowledge of any of this. I was just a 5-year-old girl hoping I would get a piece of cheese in my lunch. But every time she gave me mommy homework, I wondered, what had I done wrong? I now realize it was in order to build my confidence. She would focus on my strengths in critical thinking and math, rather than my weaknesses in organization. Her goal wasn't for me to be the best in the class. Her goal was for me to be the best version of me. I don't know if you have ever felt like this, but apraxia can feel like a challenging maze where unkind words, mockery, and mistreatment constantly lurk, testing your resilience. Many have tried to silence my voice, thinking I was less than, but I have been determined to not let them. I have spent many time in speech therapy in school. And being in speech therapy, it made me feel like I was part of a special community where we all had our own challenges, but no one made us feel bad about it. So we played countless games of Uno and had constant inside jokes. And yes, it helped. Yes, speech therapy helped me with being able to speak, but it also helped with my mental and social health as well. Seeing one by one graduating speech, it gave me the hope that one day I'd be able to graduate too. I told my mom, the day I graduate speech, I want a banner and balloons and a big, yummy cake. Yes. The cake was important, y'all. I had this vision that I would walk into my grandparents' house and everyone would be cheering and clapping and I would finally be done. I had this dream for many years. In 8th grade, March of 2020, I was called into my speech teacher's office with several administrators and my mom. They finally told me what I had been waiting for. I had graduated. Finally, I was done. But I was a bit confused. I never expected not going into high school without speech. I always had it. I was leaving a community that I had known for many years. This wasn't the celebration I had dreamt of.
Why?
At 14, during the pandemic, I started a new school where I wanted to shed any light of being labeled as the one with the weird voice. I aimed for a fresh start. But in the middle of my freshman year, I realized I needed to go back to speech. Struggling with the realization that apraxia is a lifelong gift and challenge, I began to look for support groups for kids or teens with apraxia or any hidden disabilities. I thought I could find one as my mom was a part of several Facebook parent support groups for kids with apraxia. I was unsuccessful. I could not find any. I was like, there had to be a place. After enough struggling and feeling isolated, I realized there needed to be a place where kids and teens can go and have that support and not feel isolated. So in July of 2022, I started Young Able Voices, a peer-to-peer support group for kids and teens with hidden disabilities. So they can feel heard, know their future is bright, and never feel isolated again. And this year, I just partnered up with Apraxia Kids to start weekly chats for kids and teens with Apraxia. Woo! Being here today, we are showing that our community is strong and resilient. No one should ever make you feel like you don't have a voice. In our community, we celebrate our strength in each other's ambitions, striving to nurture the flame of hope within our community, knowing that even the smallest flicker can ignite a roaring fire of potential and change. Hope reminds us we are not defined by others' expectations or limitations imposed upon one another. It empowers us to challenge the status quo, defy the odds, and carve our own path towards success. I hope everyone realizes that they have a bright future ahead of them, and our community will celebrate their success and support their ambitions and make sure their voice is heard. Thank you.
Thank you so